had really weird dreams last night. I had a dream that I had to go back to school and I had to do maths A-level, but I was kind of excited about it. I don't know why. Yeah, I had to go back and do maths A-level, and I think my old best friend Jessie was there, and I can't even remember what we were learning about. I didn't do maths A-level. I did biology A-level, and then the rest of them were humanities, because by that point I was like, performing arts, baby. But I was good at maths. I don't know. Maybe it's the universe telling me I should learn maths. Also, it could just be that I've been watching a lot of number file videos, which is about maths, so that's probably more what it is. Anyway, that's not why you're watching this video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know where July went. July just seemed to go so quickly. I have no idea what happened, but that means that it is time for me to set up my bullet journal for August. So if you want to see how I set up my bullet journal and hear a bit about my plans for next month, take a seat, grab a cup of tea or your beverage of choice, and let's get into it. Okay, so let's get started with this bullet journal setup for August, over halfway through the year. And the theme that I've chosen for this month is a constellation theme. This is for two reasons. Firstly, I've just been having a hankering to do a star theme or a space theme or something along those lines. And secondly, August for me is gonna be really, really busy. I'm going to be on tour for most of August with a show, which is great, but it means I'm going to be away from home. I might also be doing a show overlapping with that one. I'm still waiting to hear back. So I'm doing a application for a thing as well, that the deadline is the end of August. There's a lot going on. So I wanted a theme that was really, really simple, that needed minimal supplies. And I thought constellations with just my fine liner and a blue brush pen would be the way to go. And spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure it was. So yay. Before we go any further, show of the week in keeping with the star theme is Natasha, Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812. So I will put a link in the cast recording for you guys in the cast recording. I'll put a link in the description of the cast recording for you guys to check out. I'm very, very tired today, guys, if you couldn't tell. It's been quite a long day, as well as filming this setup and the intro and the outro, and now doing the recording. I've been spending pretty much all day line learning for the show that I'm doing next month. Yeah, there's a lot of lines. It's a two-hander, and my character has most of the monologue, audience address type stuff. There's a lot of lists of various things, so my brain is just frazzled. So apologies for any mistakes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to edit them out, I'm going to be honest. So you're just going to have to deal with rambly me a little bit. I hope you enjoy. But yeah, starting off with my calendar layout, actually getting into what's happening in the video. I was wondering whether this would be the month when I went back to a 2-page calendar spread. I decided not to. I think, again, maybe just with ease of setup, I've got into a rhythm now, so maybe I will regret this decision. But also, even though I might be jumping around a lot, rehearsals and shows, it's kind of obvious where I'm going to be. So I think if there is overlap with this second show that I might be doing, I'll just come up with a key to have different bullets within the squares of each day, so I don't have to write down literally every single thing I'm doing. I can just tell by the kind of bullet it is, with kind of times I'm needed places. But we'll see how we go with that. But yeah, I still decided to keep it with a month on the page, with a page calendar layout. Next, we've got my monthly task list and my thoughts of the month, which again, I just find those really useful things. I mean, monthly task lists are always useful, and then thoughts of the month, I just find it really nice to try and write down in Spanish kind of the highlights of the month, how I felt about the month, what's been happening. I just find that a really useful, nice little exercise to do without getting overwhelmed of having to do a daily diary or anything like that. Next is my ideas spread, nice and simple, with some constellations around the outside. These two constellations, I don't actually know if they're real ones. The vast majority of the constellations, apart from these two, I copied from a book that a friend got me as a present a few years ago called Stories in the Stars, an Atlas of Constellations by Susanna Hislop, which is a really lovely book. I need to give it a reread actually. But these two particular constellations I got from a bandana I bought from Claire's. So I don't know if they're actual constellations that you can see in the sky, or if they were just like, we'll just put some lines in this pattern and yay, constellation. So yeah, if anyone knows, let me know in the comments. Next, we've got my habit and mood trackers. Again, the same layout that I've been using for the past few months. I just really like this layout. I like how visually interesting it is without having to constantly come up with wacky, zany ways to track things, like tracking your mood by drawing loads of bubbles and then the color blue that you color in the bubble is the mood that you're in, or things like that. I get why that can be appealing, but for me, it's just too much effort. So it's a way for me to have trackers that are very simple and very easy to fill out without much thought at the end of the day when I'm tired. Because I usually do my trackers like just before bed. I'll do my gratitude log, I'll do my positive log, then I'll fill in my trackers and then I'll go to sleep. So I don't want to be digging around for the right color pen to color something in. So it keeps the trackers nice and simple, but at the same time, at least for the minute, this layout isn't stale for me because it's such a different way of laying things out. It's not just everything kind of in neat lines or anything like that. It's not too uniform. Obviously, a few months down the line, I might also get bored of this layout and switch it up, but I think that's definitely something that I will play with more, is kind of, rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, being like, okay, how can I change the layout on the page to make it more visually interesting, but still utilitarian, if that makes sense. Also, well, last month, because August hasn't started yet, but last month is kind of the first time I've been really using my exercise tracker on this. I've recently started Couch to 5K. I say recently, I'm starting week 8 at the time of filming this. Tomorrow will be my first day of week 8. And I've been really enjoying it. I have never really been much of a runner, so it's been good to get a bit more movement in my day. And yeah, I guess I'll let you know in my next bullet journal setup how the last 2 weeks of it went, because it's only 9 weeks long. Anyway, next we've got my Kanban board. I really liked this from last month. I found it so helpful in keeping track of the videos that I was making, especially because a lot of them were overlapping. And I wanted to do it again for this month. However, I do think that having a whole page was a little bit extra. So I tweaked it a little bit, as you can see. So I've only made it half a page. I've also put the categories along the top of the page rather than down the side of the page. Again, just to help condense it a little bit. And yeah, I think that will be more than enough space for me, especially because I won't have so many videos on the go now. But yeah, I just think it's a really helpful way of tracking the videos I'm making and actually making sure they're getting done. Previous kind of video trackers I've used before have been kind of me just writing down, oh, I want to make this video for this month and this video this month, and kind of focusing on when I want to publish them, whereas actually it is more useful to track the videos through the process of making them, and then I can keep track of where each idea is at. And then on the other half of the page is my checklist for the application I'm doing. So I'm applying for the Developing Your Creative Practice grant, which is an Arts Council grant for individual artists. I've been working on this application. If you've watched my vlogs that I've been posting on Ko-fi, you'll already know this. But I've been working on this application for like 2 months. It's been a long work in progress, which is good because I've never done an Arts Council application before, so I'm glad that I had that time. But like I said, end of August is the deadline for the application, and also the application doesn't officially open until the beginning of August. So this month is when I'll actually have to do the application with the actual online form and system and everything. So I just wanted to make a checklist so I can make sure that all of the last little bits that I still need to do, like collecting my supporting evidence and supporting statements, making sure that I've got the profile set up, making sure I've proofread everything one final time, is all done, and having that in my August setup so I know where to find it, because August is the important month. So yeah. Next is my blog drafting page. Again, kind of seen this quite a lot, but it's just a really useful spread for me. This spread is really the reason why I've been able to keep up with regularly posting blogs on my website. Link in the description if you want to check out my website. My blog is on there, obviously. Also, my CV and like professional actor stuff. If you're interested in seeing that, if you want to see what an actor's website looks like, maybe I could do a video about that, like showing you what my website looks like. Maybe. Let me know if you'd want to see that. But anyway, I sometimes struggle with coming up with blog ideas, even now with this page. This page helps a lot because it kind of breaks it down a bit more. But because my blog, even though it's on my professional website, it is somewhere where I discuss lots of topics about things I'm interested in. I kind of weirdly, it's kind of a window into who I am as a person, and that's what I want it to be. But sometimes, especially with everything that's been happening in the world, it can be really hard to pin down a topic. And even if there is something that I would like to discuss, finding a way to say it in a blog format, it can sometimes be really difficult. And it's something that sometimes I still struggle with. You know, sometimes I'm a bit late in posting because of that reason, because it takes me a while to think of something to then plan out. But that planning spread really, really does help. It just helps me process my thoughts in a clear way and be able to actually see if a blog post would actually work as well. You know, if I can't think of a clear intro, body, conclusion, then I know that maybe it's not a good subject. So it kind of helps with the sifting process as well, in a way. Anyway, finally, we have got my weekly spreads. Again, these are the same as they've been for a while. Fun fact, the events box, absolute game changer. I used it every single week last month. It's changed my life. That might be a bit hyperbolic, but I don't care. It has changed my life. I'm so glad that I made that decision. That is exactly the missing piece of the puzzle that was my weekly log, and now it's fixed and I love it. So yeah, one of the things that I am thinking about, not this year, because well, I'm kind of torn, because I really like this weekly layout. It's why I've used it all year so far. But I also know that there can be merits to having a rolling weekly. And by rolling weekly, I mean, you know, you just have a blank page. You don't set anything up in advance. At the top of the page, you write Monday, write down anything you need to write down. And then whenever you finish writing down what you need to write down, you go on to Tuesday. And I can't go into that right now. Damn it. So here is my final flip through of my bullet journal setup for August. I'm really happy with how this turned out. The blue is so calming and I cannot wait to use this more throughout the month. So that was my bullet journal setup for August. A nice, relatively simple spread for the hectic month I have ahead of me. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. Would love to have you on the channel. Come on down, we have a great time. Buy me a coffee on Ko-fi if you would like. Stay tuned for more theatre content from a UK perspective, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye friends!